In this video, I'm going to go over my favorite build so far in Remnant 2, the Infinite Shield and Sustain build. With this build, it's very difficult to die, and you'll rarely even have to use your health relics, even on the hardest difficulty. This build focuses on having near infinite uptime on shields, endless health regeneration and sustain, and being extremely tanky with high armor and damage mitigation. Unlike most other builds which focus purely on ranged damage, this build allows you to get up close and personal with melee weapons if you choose to do so. So getting right into the build, this build revolves around the rain generating band. You regenerate 3% of max HP per second while the shield is active. You'll see that everything else in this build revolves around generating shields. The next ring, the rerouting cable, gives you 5% of max health as a shield after spending 25 stamina. Important to note, this stacks up to 50%. So when you're in a fight and you dodge, you'll get a shield, and because you'll have a shield, you'll regen health. The vacuum seal also gives you a shield every time you pick something up. If you pick up scrap, you get a shield. Materials, you get a shield. Ammo, you get a shield. You get the idea. The last ring I use is the hardened coil, a damage mitigation ring which gives more survivability, but you can also probably substitute this for a damage ring if you'd like. The amulet I'm currently using is the difference engine, which gives a 20% damage buff, as well as some lifesteal when you have a shield active, which is pretty much all the time. You can also use the energy diverter amulet, which gives you 10% crit chance and 15% to all damage dealt when a shield is active. I'm also using the Shield Breaker Mutator on my melee weapon, which grants a shield every time I hit an enemy with a melee attack. So here we're on Apocalypse difficulty, where the mobs hit pretty hard, and I'm going to take a few hits here. Alright, so we're pretty low. We're going to start dodging, and by roll dodging we're going to get a shield, and with the shield we get HP back. Also, every time we pick up ammo, we get a shield. So I'll go ahead and pick this up. You'll see the shield in the bottom left, and then you see the HP start regenerating. Of course, you can do this during the fight as well. Here we are again, taking some massive damage from the Witch King over here. Pretty low. Gonna start kiting by doing some roll dodges, getting a shield, and by getting a shield, we get some HP. I'll go ahead and pop a relic. So we are picking up ammunition, getting a shield from the ammo, and also getting a shield from the roll dodges. And I can see here we're pretty much back up to full health here. And dead. So anything that we pick up off the ground, we get a shield, and we will get HP back. Here we're going to pull some mobs again, and by being the engineer and the challenger class, it allows us to take these extra hits and be a little more tanky, a little bit more durable. You can see here we're about half HP. Going to pick up these items from the ground, rebuff our shield, and then start getting HP as we start walking over to the next area. Go ahead and roll dodge to get a shield. Pick up some ammo, and we're back pretty much to full HP. And so in this clip, we're going to pop our Juggernaut. This will give us 80% damage reduction. We're going to take a couple hits to show that we're pretty tanky, and then of course we generate shields by using melee attacks as well, and our melee attacks, as you can see, hit pretty hard. So this build is pretty fun to play just because it's so versatile. You get shields from pretty much anything you do. This really shines in boss fights where there are multiple phases, and usually the will spawn ads, and when you kill the ads they drop ammo boxes. If you pick up the ammo boxes, you can go ahead and heal and save yourself the relics. And also whenever you want, you can pop your Juggernaut, get the 80% damage reduction, which allows you to tank a couple hits even from bosses. so you won't die, and you can go ahead and melee if you want to generate an additional shield to get more HP. As I just mentioned, the two classes that I'm using for this build is the Engineer and the Challenger. The Engineer trait gives more armor from your gear, which is crucial, especially on higher difficulty levels, because you don't want to get one shot. The Challenger class gives you great survivability, and also makes you a force to be reckoned with in close range combat for when you want to use your melee weapon. Speaking of melee weapons, I'm currently using the Labyrinth Staff. It's fully upgraded and packs quite a punch at close range. It is equipped with the Shield Breaker mutagen, and the two guns I'm currently using are the Merciless Bleed long range gun with the Electric Enigma. My traits so far are not yet optimized, primarily because my Engineer is not yet at max level, so I do have 10 points in the Scholar trait, which gives bonus experience, but once my Engineer is level 10, I will reallocate those points to something more useful. But with that being said, let's go ahead and look at some gameplay, and I'll go ahead and give some commentary as well. For my armor set, I am using the Void Helmet along with the Leto Mark II armor set. This puts me currently at 233 armor, and my weight is at 75, which is as high as you want it to go until you get to red. The reason I use Challenger as my secondary archetype is because of the close quarters damage perk. This allows you to hit pretty hard with your melee weapon, and then also it gives you a lot of survivability with the Intimidating Presence, and having Challenger as your secondary archetype also allows you to hit the 80% damage mitigation, which is the cap, which is really nice, especially on higher difficulties like Nightmare and Apocalypse, so you don't get one shot. So go ahead and give this build a try and let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.